Hi everyone. So I hope you all are keeping well. So after a long time, I'm taking YouTube class. Just a second. Let me just check if I'm live. All right. So let's get started with this. So today I'll be discussing about the branches of biology. Okay. So let's have a look at the different branches that are there. So before that, let me introduce myself. I'm Vani Kari, biology educator at Unacademy. I'm an engineer with bachelor's and master's degree in biotechnology and a B.Ed degree. Also a founder of a startup where I grow microgreens by vertical farming technology. Join with us in Telegram for homework and class notes. You can join the channel Vani Kari ICSE Class 9 and 10 Biology and the Telegram channel of Unacademy ICSE and IC both. So this link you can find in the description box. Okay, so go to the description box. So there you will find the link for Telegram channel of Unacademy ICSE and ISC both. You will also find a link for my special classes there, and also about the Bucks Bounty and community link you can find. So you can click on those links and follow for the same. Okay. So here we conduct a special classes, so that is on Unacademy platform where you can learn from your favorite educator for free. So basically all the subjects are there, so you can take up these sessions, so the free sessions. But in the free sessions only a certain percentage of topics will be covered. Okay, and you can also engage with the educator via poll. That means the educators will be conducting a quiz. At the end of the quiz, we'll be sharing a leaderboard so that you can know your rank and compete with your friends as well. Then clear your doubts in the live special class. So that is basically there is a question tab available. Okay, so you can click on this question tab. So you have an option to attach an image, and you even have an option to type in your question. So you can do that and send it to the educator during the live session. So they'll be getting a notification that the learner has asked a doubt and will be clearing your doubt. So now for the top special classes, you can visit the link in the description. So now you can find the link in the description for special class as well. Okay, so this is about, hello everyone. So this is about Unacademy subscription feature. So which are basically the plus classes which are conducted on Unacademy platform. So you can learn live from your comfort of your home. Basically, basically you need not go anywhere. So you, if you just have the internet, so you can learn easily from your home. Unlimited access to all the courses will be there. Like now different educators are there, so they will come up with different courses. So you will have access to all the courses once you take the subscription. Then top educators of India are going to take the classes in one platform, so that is Unacademy platform. Regular doubt clearing session will be done, like after about every 3 session, the fourth session will be a doubt clearing session. So whatever doubts you have related to the topics that are previously covered, so you can clear your doubt in this session. So that is a doubt clearing session. If you do not have any doubt, so basically we have we call this a answer writing session or a quiz session also. Basically if you do not have any doubt, so we can conduct a quiz, so that it will be a practice for you all. So quiz can be conducted, answer question answer discussion can be done in here. Okay, then complete syllabus, like 100% syllabus coverage will be there. Mentorship and guidance is given. Study material is given, so that is in the form of a PDF it is given. The practice tests are given. So if you know already, many tests are being conducted. So on a week ends, it is you are having the scholar test, and also many different tests are there, so which are you will get a huge practice with respect to different subjects, and also the different chapters of the different subjects. So in that case, you can take part in these tests which are happening there. So practice tests, live test series, and the batch courses. So now batches we have two. One in English batch, like one, the mode of delivery is English, and there is another batch which is a English batch. Basically it is a mix of both the languages is used, so that is Hindi as well as English. So if you are planning to take the subscription, so you will have access to both the batches. Okay, so you will have access to English batch also, English batch also. Now depending on your comfort, you can go for any of these batches. Then with that, there is a daily practice section, weekly mock test series is conducted, live quizzes are there, daily MCQ and subjective test series are also conducted. Now Unacademy plus subscription pricing. So if you like, since this is the very beginning of your academic year, since this is a June month, so I usually suggest you all to go with the 12 months of subscription. So if you are taking 12 months of subscription, so you will be getting, so let's say now we are in class 9, so you will be getting class 10, class 11 and class 12 subscription absolutely free along with this if you are subscribing for class 9. So that is absolute 12 months. So if you just want to try like how exactly this works, so you can even try with 3 months, 6 months or 9 months, but there is no, this offer is not there. So only if you are going for 12 months of subscription, so you will be getting 10, 11 and 12 subscription absolutely free along with this. So in the meanwhile, when you are free, you can even attend the class 11, class 10 or class 12 classes. So then this is my referral code Vani YT. Okay, which you can apply here in the referral box or a gift box which is shown there. So you can apply this code. So with this code you will be getting 10% discount on the subscription. So let's have a look at the branches of biology. So have you done this chapter, any of you? Okay, one second. All right. Okay, so let's get started. So branches of biology, mainly we have like we study plants, we study animals, we study humans separately. So for all that, a particular or a specific name is given. So now when we mention biology, so what exactly is the meaning of biology? So that is, bio is life, right? So bio is life, logy is basically a study. Okay, so logy is what? Logy is study. So what is being studied? The study of a life, or life is being studied, and that is why we call this as a biology. Now there are many branches are there. So you know that there are many different types or varieties of living organisms that exist, and in order to avoid a confusion, a particular term is given. So now if I say botany, or now if I say zoology, so you will easily understand that I am talking about a plant for a botany, I am talking about the animal for the zoology. Okay, so now a different, so biology, when we mention, so it is a study of a life. So what type of a life is being studied? So whether it is a virus, whether it is a bacteria, whether it is a fungi, whether it is an animal, so again in that case human also comes, or the plants. In all these cases, basically all these are studied under the biology, but we have a separate terms for them so that we do not mix up all the terms in that case. Okay, so let's have a look at this. Biology is divided into several branches. So this one I have taken from Selena textbook. Okay, so this information which is here given in the paragraph, so this is all taken from the Selena. So here in this case, the biology is divided into several branches. Okay, So now this division can be made at least in three different phases. So basically we have the animals, we have the plants. So which are major organisms? So we'll be studying them in detail first. Then we'll be studying about the human biology as well. Okay. So in that case, let's have a look at this. So in terms of major kinds of organisms, so what all different kinds of organisms are there? So you can see the living organism is a plant. So is the mountain living organism or a rock living organism or the soil floor if we mention, is it a living organism? Anybody? Is that a living organism? Like soil, rock, mountain. Okay, so here in this case they are not. Okay, so no, yes. So in that case, what is the thing? So here we are studying a living organism, and for that major category when we mention, so everywhere you can find plants, everywhere you can find animals, and everywhere you can find a human. So these are the major categories that we will be considering under, and under this particular branch itself we will be studying further. So there are further subdivisions that you can see, which is again here you can see under considered under the special group of organism. So virus is a special. Any idea why virus is special? Or bacteria is special? Entomology, ichthyology, herpetology, ornithology. So all these terms are given. No, bacteriology. So in all these cases, why are they special group of organisms? Any idea? Okay, so these are, okay, I'm half visible or what? 1 second. Alright, so in this case, let's have a look at this one in detail first. So that is about the botany. Now, any plant. So let's say you are a researcher, okay, and you are working on a plant. So now you don't know what type of a plant. So you are a researcher, like you have a lots of experience in a research field, but you discover a new plant which you are unaware about. So in that case, first botany when we mention, so it is the study of the plant, like what type of a root is there, what is the type of leaf, whether it is having a parallel venation, whether it is having a reticulate venation, what is the phyllotaxy, like arrangement of leaves that is done, why is it done like that, whether the cuticle is thicker. So basically study of plants when we mention, each and every plant detail is studied and the information will be stored. So now I discover a new plant, okay, so which is nobody has named it yet. So in that case I need to do a comparison study, like I have one plant here, I have another plant here. So now this is the new discovery, so I want to know what exactly is the characteristic feature of this one, so how exactly this and this are different. So in that case comparison study is done, and based on that we would understand that yes, we haven't discovered this plant or this type of a plant because we haven't come across. So in that case that is a new discovery. Like you go to a isolated area where there are less number of people, so you find a different types of species always. Okay, so when it is in a crowded area, so all of them are gonna go extinct. So but if it is a isolated one, so you can see the different organisms in that case. So same way now you should have an ideology like what exactly does this plant contain, so that you can do a comparison study, and based on that you can place it in a different group, like whether it is a algae, whether it is a bryophyta, whether it is a pteridophyta, whether it is a gymnosperm, or whether it is a angiosperm. So now all that study is done. So what is the difference between gymnosperm and angiosperm? Angiosperms are basically the flowering plants. Gymnosperm, when we mention, there is no flower, but there is a production of seed that you can see. Now if we are talking about thallophyta, so there is no well developed body also. So in that condition, hi Ayush. So in that condition, so basically we need to study each and every plant in detail, so that will give us a specific idea related to the medical field also. So you if you have observed, so Ayurveda is all about the extract from the plant is taken and that itself is used as a medicine. So in all these cases, you should have a proper knowledge about the plant, then only you can further process based on the ideology that is there. So botany, when we mention, so it is the study of plants. So same way with respect to zoology, so which is called as a study of animals. So why is it a study of animals? Any idea? How exactly study of animals or the study of plant is different? So anyway, in this case we can mention again for animal study, like if this animal is there, so whether a human can come in contact with this particular animal or not, whether this is a herbivore, whether it is a carnivore, whether it is a omnivore, and you again you discover a new type of insects. So that also comes under animal kingdom itself. Animalia, so you have a arthropoda, so you discover a new insect. Now you should have an ideology like what exactly, if it bites, what exactly is going to happen. So is this poisonous? Like when we study about the zoology, so each and every detail about the animal is taken, and all its characteristic feature of an animal, like what is the body feature, what is the type of digestion, whether single opening is present, two openings are present, so that is mouth and anus is present, or it is just the mouth through which the food is taken in, and it is vomited out through the same thing, so that is through the mouth. So this is possible in a lower organism, so that is soon after porifera you have an idaria, coelenterata, or platyhelminthes. So you can see there is a digestive system that is developed. Just a second. Okay, so with respect to that, once the digestive system is formed, so you can not just the digestive system, so it can be with respect to excretory system, respiratory system. So each and every detail is studied about a particular organism, and the comparison study can be done, so that we will know how exactly this is different from this one and in what field. So now humans don't study anything just like that. So basically they will try to benefit from this particular whatever they are spending a money on or whatever they are studying. So they'll try to extract something from this. So in that case, now zoology is there, botany is there. So in that case, the plants might be medicinal plants, so they might be used to extract a protein, or maybe you can say medicinal component which is present. So in all these cases, a detailed study about the botany and the zoology is a must. So now here this is about the human biology. So in case of human biology, all right. Okay, so human biology, when we mention, so it is study of man. So humans are studied here, so that is as a living organism and his relationship with other living organisms. So that is basically, yes, so I'm audible, right? Alright, so in this case, the humans are studied. So what is the relationship this human being having with other living organism, like human being with the plant, the human being with other animals, or the human interaction when we mention, so that is related to the, or the human and the human society when we mention, so that is related with the anthropology. So here the study of a man and a human society, so this comes under anthropology. And the other one here, the human biology, when we mention, so study of a man as a living organism and his relationship, like what exactly, how exactly he is treating, or how well he is looking at the other living organism, so that is considered here under the human biology. So let's have a look at the other one, so that is in terms of special group of organisms. Just a second. Yeah. So in terms of special group of organisms, just a second. Okay. So in terms of special group of organism, so there is a bacteriology. So now when we mention about a bacteria, so different, like there are different types of bacteria. So that is with respect to shape we can say, so with respect to size we can say, so there is a variation. So now you can find there is a coccal bacteria, so there is a cocci. So this one which is mentioned here, so this is a cocci which is a spherical bacteria, right? Then you can see there is a bacteria which is rod shaped. So rod shaped bacteria when we mention, so this is the rod shaped one. So this can be called a bacillus bacteria. So this one is a bacillus. So same way now, so cocci is there, then there is a bacillus bacteria. Then you can find a vibrio shaped bacteria. So this one is a vibrio. Okay. Then you can also see there is basically, one second, so there is a spiral bacteria also that you can find, so which is like this also, so spirilla bacteria. So here with respect to their shape, the size, and what is the causative agent of a particular disease, so that is a bacterial causative agent. So in that case, each and every detail about the bacteria is studied, whether it is having a cell wall, whether it is having just the cell membrane, so that all that structural analysis is also done. So in that case, this is having cell wall, then there is a capsule also that is present. You can also find there is a cell membrane which is present. So every detail, like how exactly one bacteria is different from the other one, so each and every detail about the bacteria is studied under the bacteriology. Now under virology, so this is the study of viruses. So here what is special about the virus when we mention, the viruses when we mention, so these are basically living, okay, and these are non-living. So why are we considering that these are living as well as non-living? So in that case, when it is in the host organism, okay, so when it has entered the host, so this is gonna act as a living organism. But when the same one, so let's say non-living, okay, so when do we say that the virus is a non-living one? So now it is not inside the host, so maybe it is on the surface, on the table, on the pen. So basically it is not coming, it has not come in contact with any other living organism. So it is basically on dead material like table, chair, or maybe here on the earth like floor. So in all these cases, this is going to behave as a non-living thing. But as soon as it enters the human body, but as soon as it enters the plant body, or the bacterial body, or the fungal body, basically wherever, whichever living organism it enters, so there it is going to act as a living organism. And that is why you do not see virus under any category. So not even in Monera, not even in Protista, not even in fungi, plantae, or animalia. So that is because this is, we need to place this as a different category itself. So where depending on number of organisms, so later this might be done, but as of now it is only 5 kingdom classification with Monera, Protista, fungi, plantain, animalia. So in all these cases, we do not consider this virus to be a living as well as non-living. So this is going to change depending on if it is in, if it has entered a living organism. So in that case, it will act as a living one. If it is outside, just like in the environment, so it is going to behave as a non-living thing. So each and every detail with respect to different viruses. So this is one virus. what is the type of antigen that is present on the surface of a virus. So that is being studied here. Okay, now mycology. So what exactly is mycology? Anybody? Myco term is for what? So you might have heard during the COVID time period. So there was a term mucormycosis, right? So mucormycosis they used to use, or there was a black fungi term which was used often. So in that case, basically there was a thing like those who had the corona, like COVID. So they were affected by fungi was said. So in that case, it is basically it has made your immune system weaker, so that is virus. So some of the fungi also have started attacking the human body. So usually or otherwise humans are much more resistant to this fungal disorder. But but it doesn't mean that there are no fungal disorders only. There are fungal associated disorders that can still occur in a human body, or it can be with respect to plant body. So mycology or a myco is basically a fungi. So study of a fungi like hypha, mycelium, whether it is having a hypha, whether it is having a compartment like septa is present or a septate. Then mycelium type, whether this produces a spore, what is the mode of reproduction, whether it is a asexual mode or a sexual mode of reproduction. So each and every detail is considered under the study of fungi. Okay. Okay. So now with respect to entomology, so what exactly is entomo? Entomo is basically the study of insects. So there is, in pollination chapter you will study. So there is entomophily, anemophily, hydrophily. So same way entomo term is for an insect. Entomophily, so that is basically attraction. So for pollination the insects are attracted. So here entomology is nothing but the study of an insect is done, like what is its body feature, what is the defense mechanism this particular insect is having. So is this poisonous, or if it bites, like whether it is poisonous one or it is not poisonous. And other than that, here certain other things like let's say we can say basically there is the exoskeleton formation, endoskeleton formation. So each and every detail with respect to these insects can be studied. So skeleton is not the skeleton type of skeleton, just the hard covering which is gonna provide a protection. So in that case, entomology is a study of an insect. So what is the defense mechanism that they have got with respect to different organisms are studied. And here ichthyology, so that is study of fishes. Now when we mention about fishes, so you can find fishes. So there is a cartilaginous fish. Okay, so fishes, when we mention, so there are different categories. So fishes can be of bone, so bony fishes you can find. Okay, then cartilaginous fishes also can be found. So bony fishes are there, the cartilaginous fishes are also there. So that is easily, like when we compare a cartilage and a bone, you can break a bone to some extent, but cartilage breaking is not possible because this has got a flexibility. So cartilage which is there in your ear, the nose tip, so they are very difficult to break. So in that case, cartilaginous fishes or cartilages fishes which are there, so these are much more stronger. So example, you can see the shark and all. Okay, so these are basically cartilaginous fishes, which are again when you study them under the ichthyology, so that is fishes. So you will be considering like what exactly is the phenomenon that they have got, whether there is a well developed respiratory system. So what is the way of their defense mechanism. So it can be with respect to bony as well as a cartilaginous fish. So in that case, you will come across different like while you start studying about the fishes, so you will come across the different arrangement, like body fins, or let's say the teeth arrangement, the operculum, the gill arrangement, like how exactly this is present. So all that will be studied here under the ichthyology. And what is the defense mechanism that they have got, the mode of reproduction, the and also respiratory system, digestive system. So each and every detail is studied here under the ichthyology. Now for herpetology, it is the study of lizards, snakes, etc. So now a lizard or a snake when we mention, so you can find different types of lizards mainly. Okay, so each and every category, so there is herpetology when we mention, so there is this one. So let's say this is a type of a lizard. So what is this? Anybody has any idea? What is this organism? Now in order for a defense mechanism, so this is basically, it will try to scare the predator. So that is by puffing up this particular gland. So that is here a structure will be there, so it is going to create a look that it is aggressive one. And by that aggressive look, so this will make sure that anyway it is scaring the predator. Okay, which may work or may not work, but anyway it will try its best. So that is a kind of a defense mechanism. So here when we mention herpetology, so different types of lizards are studied, the snakes are studied, their venom is considered, the venom for that anti-venom, like if a particular snake is there and we know the details of this venom, so now we can find the anti-venom for this, so that you can cure the person who has got bitten by the snake. So in that case, basically venom discovery, anti-venom discovery can be done. So that is based on the study of these herpetology. So that is lizards, snakes, so different organisms are studied under this case. So you will know, like not just this, and also you will know about the defense mechanism, their digestive system, respiratory system, the reproductive system that they have got. So different systems in their body are studied in detail. Now ornithology, it is related to the study of birds. So how exactly are these birds able to fly? So now bird are having a pneumatic bone, so it is mentioned to be birds, or which we can also mention aves. Okay, so how exactly these aves fly? Why are they able to fly so easily? So that is because their bones are not strongest, like they are stronger, but again they are hollow bones. Okay, so compared to us, so they are not stronger, so that we call as a pneumatic bone. So pneumatic bones will be there, so which will make, like it is completely a hollow bone itself, just like a air filled one, and it is easy to lift. So in that case they can easily fly, so that they have a pneumatic bones, and the wings are there, so these wings are gonna help in pushing up this air, and there is a flying high, so that can also be done. So now different again, so it is not just with respect to the like just the external feature, like what is the chamber of a heart, like whether it is okay, so whether it is having a three chambered heart, whether it is having a four chambered heart, then like what exactly is the type of digestion that they have got, respiration that they have got. So each and every detail here is studied. All right, so now with respect to that pneumatic bones, when we mention, so they are going to help in flying. The cold blooded animals, the warm blooded animals are considered here. And what is the type of arrangement that they have got, like whether the reproductive system, whether they are laying a egg, or whether they are giving birth to a young one directly. So you can find mammal. So mammal is actually a animal category. Okay, so that is placed under the mammal, but not the aves, but it is we consider that as a bird, because it can fly. So there is a difference. So there is a difference that you can find with respect to different organism, and with respect to that, all right. So with respect to that, we can say that now you know why the bat is placed under a mammal. So it is placed under the mammal because it has got the mammary gland, and it can produce a young one. Okay. So that means it is not qualified under the aves. So if we know their identification, if we know their characterization, so basically it is going to help in classification as well as understanding of a particular organism in detail. So that is a living organism in detail. Now in terms of approach on studying a different organism, so anatomy when we mention, so what exactly is anatomy, morphology, histology? Anybody has any idea about this? No idea? What is anatomy? What is morphology, histology? Okay, so we'll come to this point. Anatomy is basically internal study. Okay, so how can you see yourselves? Okay, so let's say this is a cross section that is taken from the stomach, or we can say this is the cross section that might be taken from a plant, depending on condition. Okay, so that is with respect to animal here. So here I said with respect to plant. So this one anyway it is gonna vary. So now based on that, anatomy is the internal structural study is done. Okay, so that is study of gross structure of an organism as seen in the dissection. So that means a dissection has to be done, a cutting, like you know, basically a part of the body has to be cut and the arrangement of the tissues is to be observed. So that is the anatomy. So basically internal structural study is done. So that comes under the anatomy. Now when we mention about the morphology, so what exactly is morphology? So morphology is study of form and structure of the plants and the animals here. Okay, so now here you know the structure of plants and animals, when we mention it includes essentially the understanding and interpretation of this structure. So morphology is just the visible character, like you know, external study. Okay, so that is just externally. It can be with respect to internal organs also, like you know, internal organ stomach is there, internal organ heart is there. So that you are not dissecting, just you are looking at it and you are mentioning the external arrangement. So that is the morphology. So it can be with respect to the overall appearance of the body or the internal organs as well. So in that case it is not just related to the external organs, the internal organs are also studied from the outside, so without any dissection. So that is study of form and structure of plants and animals. It includes the understanding and interpretation of structure. So you can just make a note here, both external as well as internal. So that means internal. So here you know, once you make a dissection here anyway, so you are not studying the dissected area. So you are more interested into the internal organs. So there is a food pipe, there is a windpipe, so there is a lung, there is a liver, there is a pancreas, there is a gallbladder, there is a stomach, intestine, so rectum, anus. So in all these cases, you know, you will be just after taking a dissection, so basically you will be observing the internal organ without taking any dissection. So that is about the morphology. So morphology, when we mention, external study is also done, internal organ study is also done. So sometimes students wrongly consider morphology to be concerned with the study of external parts only, which is absolutely wrong, because you know this is a part now. So this is a hand, so hand is studied from outside. Face, so face is studied from outside. So not just the external organ study, the internal organs also, that is what is mentioned here. The internal organ when we mention, so stomach, like you know, as it is you are taking a stomach, Then you are just looking at the arrangement, like how exactly the stomach is arranged. Then we'll talk about the lung. So let's say there is a lung, so you will be studying about the lung over here. So that is without any dissection. So dissection is not taken, but only the external study is done even for an internal organ. So that is a morphology. Then what is the difference between anatomy and a morphology? Anatomy, when we mention, you cut open, now let's say you want to study a stomach, or you want to study a liver, or you want to study the lung. So in that case you just make a cut, you dissect it, then you observe the internal parts as well, like how the tissue is arranged, what is the structural arrangement, overall epithelial tissue, whatever different types of tissues are there, the connective tissue. So you will observe each and arrangement of the tissues as well as organs, or completely after taking a dissection. So that is with respect to anatomy. Here morphology is not a dissection, but internal and external organs are studied just externally without any dissection. So that is the morphology. So lot of times just the external study we mention. So external study with respect to internal organs as well. Now histology. So this is study of minute structure of tiny bits of body. So this one, let's say this is a bit of a body, a tiny bit of a body seen with the help of a compound microscope. So you can see there is a arrangement of the cell which is done here. So this is basically tissues are studied, and those tissues are like how exactly, whether it is a complex tissue, whether it is a simple tissue, like what exactly is the arrangement that is made inside the cell. So all that can be considered under the histology. So study of minute structure of tiny bits of a body as seen with the help of a compound microscope. So this is called as a histology. Okay. So moving on to next one, so there is a cytology. So cytology, when we mention, so it is a study of structure and function of animals. So we'll be studying about the animals, we'll be studying about the plants. So that is with respect to their cell. Okay. So study of so study of structure. Okay. So like what exactly is the structure and what exactly is the function. Just a second. Yeah. So what exactly is the function? Okay. So their function, their structure, so that will be studied here under. So that is the cytology. So this can be with respect to plant cell, this can be with respect to animal cell, or any other living organism cell. So basically, okay. So in that case, mainly it is plant and animal cell, structure and function. Now this is the structure. So what exactly is the function of this one? If this is the structure, so how is the function helpful? If this is the structure, so how is it going to perform a function? So basically, depending on the structure, the function is also known. That is with respect to the cell. Okay. Arrangement of this cell, their structure, function is the main thing. Now moving on to the physiology. So this is physiology is a study of functions and activities of organisms and their parts. So a physiology is your physical body parts. Okay. So those body parts what we are talking, and what is their function, whether they are performing their function well or not. So if not, what can be done? So physiology is the study of functions, the activities of organisms and their parts. So now a different parts of a body are there, so whether they are able to do their work well. So certain exercises are mentioned. So physiotherapy, it is mentioned physiotherapy, right? So that is for a part of your body, in order to make it much more efficient, certain exercises are mentioned, so that you perform those exercises, and you try to improve your health, like not exactly health, so basically the body parts we can say. So in that case, physiology is the study of these functions and activities of organisms and their body parts. Now here the embryology. So this is study of formation and development of embryo for plants and animals is considered. So here what exactly development of an embryo is considered. So what comes under this development of an embryo when we mention, just a second. Yep. So development of a embryo when we mention, so study of formation and development of embryo of plants and animals. So how exactly development of an embryo occurs? So it can be with respect to human body, it can be with respect to animal body, or it can be even with respect to plant body. So there also embryo formation occurs, right? So that is zygote is there. So zygote is undergoing a multiple cell division where it will form an embryo, and embryo is the one which will form a radicle and then a plumule. So there is a embryo formation in plant, there is a embryo formation even in animals. Okay, so now study of formation and development of the embryo, that is of plants and animals, is considered. Okay, so how exactly it is getting the nourishment for that development, so all that can be placed here under the embryology. So now what exactly are we studying? So all these are the branches of biology itself, and now biology, as the name itself suggests, so it is the study of life. So life study, so these are all life studies itself. So taxonomy is the naming, like you discover a new organism, so you name that organism, you group that organism and classify that organism as a plant or an animal. So now you don't know, you discover one particular organism, so by just looking at it, so you can understand whether this one is an animal or the plant. Okay, so now just by looking you can understand few, and detailed study with respect to cell also has to be done. So now based on that, the science of naming, grouping and classifying plants and animals, and that can also be called as a systematic. So here under taxonomy, so basically new discovery is done, and for that specific classification has to be done, and that specific classification when we mention, so classifying plants and animals, so their naming, grouping and identification, so you should have a prior knowledge or about the particular organism. If not, you should try to collect the information about that organism. So if nowhere the information is available, then it is a new discovery, so you need to start studying about that organism from the scratch. So that means, so you will be the discoverer of that particular organism, and based on what you name it, so naming will be done, grouping will be done, and a classification will be done there. So ecology is study of relationship of an organism, that is to both its living as well as non-living environment. So here the organisms are considered, so they are, whether they are living or non-living, so how is the relationship of this living and non-living organisms in the environment, so that is also considered. So study of relationship of an organism to both its living and non-living environment. So let's say human, so human, how he is treating other living organism, or the relationship, so treating more than treating, so it is basically a relationship that a human might have with the other non-living things or the other living things. So in that case, ecology when we mention, so living and non-living thing environment, I mean the respective relationship is studied under this. So now biogeography, this is the study of geographical distribution, that is with respect to plants and animals, like where exactly you can find these plants. So xerophytes when we mention, so xerophytes you can find in the desert area. So and then halophyte, like the halo are the ones which can survive the salty environment. So salt water is there, but still the plant is not dying or the animal is not dying. So it is surviving even in that salt solution. So that is extremophiles we mention. So under extremophiles there are halophiles, there is thermophile. So different categories there. So thermacido files. So in all these cases, they can survive in high temperature, they can survive even in acidic condition, they can survive even in high salt concentration. So now all these are considered. So study of geographical distribution of the plants and animals is considered. Now paleontology, when we mention, so prehistoric forms of the life that can be understood through the fossils of the plants and the animals. So there are many living fossils in plant kingdom actually, which haven't changed since the time of this Jurassic time period. So since then the plant has still remained the same without even a little change. So those are called as the living fossils. But like this, you can anyway find the dead fossils also, and that is going to help you in understanding how exactly these species were before and how exactly now they are. Okay. Now with respect to paleontology, so paleontology is done, right? So that is fossil. So evolution, so this is study of origin and the descent of the organism. So that is who is the ancestor. Okay, so ancestral base is known, and the comparison is done. So what is the evolution that has occurred in this organism and that organism, like monkey to man when we mention. So we ourselves can see a huge difference between a monkey and a man. So same way, with respect to different organisms, so comparison study is done. So study of origin and descent of the organisms is considered. Okay. Now under genetics also, it is the science of transmission of body characters. Like here one example is given. The other example, here in we can mention, just a second. Okay, so you can get certain body features from your mother, you can get certain body features from your father as well. So in that case, basically you're a combination of the two genes that is coming from father as well as a mother. So in that case, basically anything can get expressed, like just like it is mentioned, my beauty and your intelligence. So in that case, when two get married, so they might, woman is beautiful and the man might be intelligent. So the child might get a beauty from the mother and the intelligence from the father, or it can be even reverse. So beauty from the father is also possible, intelligence from the mother is also possible. But anyway, so it is getting a mix up of genes, or we can say it is getting a mixed character from both the parents. So that will tell you about the genetics. So that is flow of characters from generation to generation is studied under the genetics. So now for parasitology, the study of parasites, like the organisms which live or inside the other living organism, or drawing the nourishment from the host. So just like a virus, so virus, it lives inside and it is drawing the nourishment. So same way bacteria gets into our body, so there it will grow, multiply, then we need to take an antibiotic to kill it. Okay, so same way parasitology when we mention, so they can either live on or they can just get inside as well. So that is, this is now living, so it is taking a nourishment from the human and then it is surviving. So now pathology when we mention, so it is a study of diseases of plants and animals. So here disease causing organisms are studied in detail. Okay, so disease causing organisms are studied in detail, and how exactly are they causing a disease, so whether it is a virus, bacteria, and all is studied. So before I end this session, so because I have a one more session to go, okay, so that is on Unacademy platforms. I am conducting a special class right now at 5:15. So that is a structured question or diagram based question on a transpiration. So you all can download the Unacademy Learner app and start taking up the free classes that are there. So now this is about the Guardians batch, which is there for class 9 and is a all subject batch. So ICSE class 9, the start date, so that is started on 1st of June, that is 2022, and the mode of delivery is English here. So basically you will have access to this PCMB, physics, chemistry, maths and biology. So you will have access to all these subjects once you take the subscription. Okay, So now, if you are subscribing for class 9, so you will be getting class 10, 11 and 12 subscription absolutely free. So introducing community, so never miss on any update from your favorite educator. Get session notes and practice material. Share your feedback directly with the educator via poll. So check out the link to the educator community below. So this is about the Bucks Bounty, opportunity for all learners to report any inappropriate content in the video. So be the first one to report a particular issue to claim your prize. Report any inappropriate content using the form in the description. So again, you can go to the description there and find out the link. So see you all in the next session. So subscribe to our channel, that is Unacademy, ICSE and ISC boards. Click on bell icon to get notified about the session. Like and share the video and download the Unacademy Learners app. This PDF is anyway, it is basically I have added the notes from the Selena, so you can just refer the Selena for the same. Okay, or if you still need it, so basically you can send it on my community, so you can join my community there. Okay, all right then, so see you all in the next session. Bye bye everyone, take